Well done, thank you. Okay, Benjamin, please.
Do I need to push anything?
Are you good?
I'm
Green's
good. Okay. Hello to you all. Please forgive me. I have a dreadful fear of public speaking and I would rather be doing anything rather than this, but I feel a real drive to make sure this message is heard. I was in this room in 2019 as two climate groups, Extinction Rebellion and Student Strike for Climate, both spoke, and then ECAN and Christchurch City Council both declared a climate emergency. I was very grateful and happy at that time. The battle seemed half over, but it now seems I am back. Why? Our second demand at the time was to reduce emissions to zero by 2025. How very fanciful. In fact, by 2025, we will have reduced our emissions by 0%. That is why I'm here. There is no cliche that if you don't have a plan, then you plan to fail. Your goal is 50% reduction by 2030, but where is the plan, the steps, incentives, penalties, consequences? Where is the plan? But let's start with the basics. You, dear people, are our leaders. You want to be here. You work hard to be elected. So here we are. And where are we? We're at the start of the climate crisis. It has not come here yet, not really. It touched down in the North Island with the Auckland floods and Cyclone Gabrielle, and the West Coast is starting to feel it, but not us, not really, not yet. Here's a few headlines from just the last month. 1. Massive floods threaten tens of millions in China. 2. The top science report says the world is teetering on 5 key thresholds: collapse of a Greenland ice sheet, widespread permafrost thawing, widespread death of warm coral reefs, and the collapse of an important oceanic current in the Northern Hemisphere. 3. The EU Secretary, so we have only 2 years now to stop serious climate change. 4. The deforestation of the Amazon is slowing but still continues in Colombia and Brazil. We should no longer talk of the Amazon as the lungs of the world, but perhaps just a lung. 5. Student Strike for Climate came into this building and refused to leave till they met our mayor. Did the police wear eye goggles, implying pepper spraying was an option? They risked arrest and trespass and worse. Why would they risk this? This is just from the last month. The canary in the coal mine is dead, yet we do not evacuate the coal mine. Why? Because we are in denial. The shock and size of what is happening is huge, but it is also beside the massive task we have to stop this getting worse. It is all unthinkable. For a lot of people, it is still unthinkable. Why? Because it is scary, really damn scary. The problem is not in the climate is just various gases. The problem is here in our hearts. We know this, we always did. It is time for a change. We cannot hide behind being focused on other things like the economy, a stadium, offsets, or a hydrogen car. You need to face this head on, you need to own it. You also need a plan, a tough plan. It will not be popular. People will rant and rave, but later when this all gets clearer, they will understand, they will forgive you, they will respect you for your tough decisions. If you really crush this, future generations will honour you and love you. There will be statues. That is why you are here, to take the lead, to be liked, to be respected, not to hide. I have a few ideas I would like you to consider. Please ask me in my question time. They involve buses and bikes, but there is no hardship involved, just buses and bikes. Because let me tell you what real hardship is, what tragedy is. Hardship is when your daughter, called Ivy Collins, the 2-year-old that was ripped from her mother's arms when a torrent of water poured out of the Esk River during Cyclone Gabrielle. Losing a child like that is real hardship. Tragedy is behind us, but it is also in front of us. Now, the voting public now believe, according to the City Council's own polling, that climate change is the biggest challenge facing us. Yet Canterbury has a zero reduction in emissions. There was a brief blip with COVID, but that is all. This means for the young people there are now 2 emergencies. The climate emergency, which gets bigger, but most of our leaders and most of the adults do nothing, which is worse. It tells them that the problem is there, but they are not worth saving, or that the problem is unsolvable, or that it is not a problem at all. Is this really that hard to fix? It is not rocket science or a Rubik's Cube, yet it seems unsolvable. Why? Because we need more leaders and we need a better plan, and they all need to be tough. Not sort of tough, I mean real tough, superhero tough, but not just superheroes, definitely superheroines too. So you chose to be here. You may not have bargained for the climate crisis, but the chips are falling in this way. You may not want this to be your legacy, but sorry, it could be. You all know the climate crisis is possibly the most serious threat to our civilization and our children and nature, yet we have no drop in emissions. Do we need more hydrogen cars, lithium batteries, yogurt-powered super trains? Possibly, possibly not. What we really need is a plan, and we need you. If you really crush this, they will name things after you, like roads, streets, and mountains. If you hit this out of the park, they will build monuments and statues in your memory. They will name their children after you. In 20 years, there could be a lot more children called Phil. And in the future, there still could be a lot of children, which would also be a great thing. This is not the end or the middle. This is the beginning of the climate crisis. Please play your part and play it well, because the worst is coming, which is why we need the best from you now. I am not exaggerating, but I do wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you very much. Well done. Well done. Thank you. Okay, Victoria, please.